Hello everybody, welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld and here are 3 important things to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. Now I hope that you brought your neck braces with you because last week was just insane. We had massive up moves, huge down moves, and a 75 basis point increase for the Fed funds rate, which of course created a lot of chaos in our financial markets, and who knows exactly which way we're going to be going forward, but there's a lot of data which can drive our trades and our decisions. Now for the US traders, you can take a sigh of relief, a deep breather, because there really is no major economic data facing you this week. But for the international markets, we got some big stuff. Let's talk about earnings first, because last week we had like 33 earnings. It was a snooze fest with regards to earnings. This week there are a few more, some that have carried over from last week, but we got over 100 to talk about today. Let's start things off with Monday. We got 166 companies reporting this week. Oracle to report on Monday. That's a pretty big name. On Tuesday we've got Lennar. Wednesday brings you KB Homes, Steelcase, and Winnebago. And the Lennar and KB Homes are very interesting because we're hearing so much about the housing market peaking. Interest rates are rising. You now have the 30-year fixed rate mortgage over 6%, whereas just 8 months ago it was under 3%. That could have an impact on Lennar and KB Homes sales as well. Look at Thursday, we've got FedEx, Darden Restaurants, BlackBerry, Rite Aid, and Accenture. And on Friday, you've got CarMax, which is also interesting because some of the retail sales numbers have shown a significant decline in the purchases of vehicles. So that might impact CarMax. Okay, let's get that stuff out of the way and move on to something a little bit bigger. We've been talking about inflation in the U.S. Of course, some huge numbers coming out with regards to inflation. Jerome Powell freaking out a little bit by saying 75 basis point increase because inflation's out of control. All right, calm down, America. We think we have ours under control. But what about, let's go Great Britain, the UK. What do they look like? Check out this chart here. If we go all the way back 17 years with their consumer price index, remember, CPI means consumer price index. It's a basket of goods and services that people are paying for. What is the cost of that basket of goods and services? And you notice going all the way back into 2005, we've barely peaked above 5. 2 times we peaked. We peaked back in 2008 and we peaked back in 2011 above that 5% mark. Oh, but here, hold my beer. Watch what happens on the hard right edge of this chart. Inflation, my friends, is a serious issue right now. Well, if the trend is your friend to the bend at the end, what do you see in here? This is one of the most beautiful uptrends, albeit it's a bit steep, but that trend is incredibly strong. And if we see those numbers come out on Wednesday at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for CPI, at anything higher than that could create turmoil for the British pound. So for those of you who are currency traders, be careful out there when you're trading that British pound this week. Now, let's talk about Canada. That's right, the neighbors to the north. You notice their inflation numbers look very different, rather choppy. There aren't the clean swings that we just saw with the British pound. On this Canadian dollar chart, you can see CPI has been fluctuating wildly, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. But what is noteworthy is you do see that on the hard right edge, those numbers have been consistently getting higher and higher, albeit the last number was slightly lower. Now, if you notice there, Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the Canadian dollar reports. And again, they've had some wild swings in their currency as well, so a lot of action for the Forex traders. Now, we'll take a step back and not look at one specific piece of economic data, but how one individual, arguably the most powerful individual with regards to setting rates, Jerome Powell, will be speaking. Not only will he be speaking, he's going to be testifying. That's right, we're talking legal stuff here. Jerome Powell will be testifying before the Senate Banking Committee. What he's doing is a semi-annual monetary policy report. This is important because he does it twice a year and it kind of sets the framework for what the Fed is thinking. Now, of course, last week we did see on Wednesday Jerome Powell talking about interest rates, where they may be headed, and at the press conference being grilled by journalists. But this is in front of our Senate. We have a lot of important questions going to be answered. Hopefully, they will ask some very important questions. The one question that I want to hear, which surprisingly has come from absolutely nobody in the press. We keep hearing about, the administration and it's Biden or Trump caused this inflation. And even Jerome Powell has said in his press conferences, it's Putin. Really? I would love to hear one of those senators, please, I hope they're watching this, one of those senators ask him directly, is the printing of money that the Fed has been doing from $4 trillion to $19 trillion in 2 years, could that be the reason that we are in the situation that we are in? So instead of throwing shade at all these politicians and governments and different things, didn't you cause this? But lo and behold, we know that won't be asked of Jerome Powell at this conference or at this testimony. But we might get some clues as to what their stance is going forward. We already know that they're targeting a 3.4% Fed funds rate by the end of the year. which from my analysis would put that 30-year fixed rate mortgage right around 7 to 8%, maybe even higher than that. Again, these things can all have an impact on our economy going forward, and Jerome Powell will be testifying under oath, answering a lot of these questions about what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and maybe what caused some of this as well. Now, there are 2 times that this will be happening. We see that this week, Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, it's not like it's going to be immediately wild fluctuations. But as a trader, sometimes we're sitting in front of our screens, everything looks normal, nice trends going, all of a sudden crazy volatile swings happen for no reason. You're going, what in the heck is going on? It could very well be something like this. So if you're trading on Wednesday, right around 9:30 at the open, be careful. Maybe go a little bit lighter on your positions because the increased chance of volatility happening at 9:30 on Wednesday and right around 10 to maybe 11 o'clock on Thursday is going to increase. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must-Knows. We'll see you next week.